Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to another episode of Skip Town. You are going to be seeing a faster, leaner version of us in the future here on YouTube. But if you want to check out the extended episode, the full-blown episode every week, you can follow the link in the description below. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us everywhere. And please tell your friends about us as well. Thanks. On with the show. I have to make sure I have my glasses from you because there are 12 pair. Is it pair or pairs? I never know how to say that. There are 12 pairs of eyeglasses around the house. Like, what are you trying to see?
Everything.
What are you trying to see?
Everything. Every room.
They're on the hutch. They're on the couch. They're in the spare bedroom.
They are.
Like, nobody's even in there.
Because if I have my phone with me and I get a call or a text, not a call, but if I get a text and I'm in the spare bedroom, I cannot read it without glasses. So then I'm running, like trying to find glasses. So just have them in every room. I literally have them in every single room.
There are two on the TV stand. There are two sets of eyeglasses on the TV stand.
Yeah.
You're getting old.
I know.
I know it's probably not polite for a man to say to a woman.
You're getting old too. You have glasses.
I know. I lost my keys for a week and a half here in the studio.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey listeners, ever wonder what it would be like to blow up your comfort zone at the tender age of 50? Well, we did just that. When our last kid went off to college, we hit the road in search of a new hometown. Now we bounce from city to city and bring you along for the ride. This is the Skip Town All-Stars podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Skip Town All-Stars. We are here at the Podcast Doctor Studios in Orlando, Florida. It is our new home away from home. Pretty
It
sight.
is.
You?
I love it. I'm so happy we're here.
I
Yeah.
know.
These
Really
digs are really great.
Want to take a quick second to introduce Phil Bird, our producer here at the studios. Say hi, Phil, to everyone.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. You
Yeah.
guys ready to talk
We
about
get to see
Thanksgiving?
you this week. We're psyched.
I exist.
Last week, you were the voice on Quebec City. Now we get to put a face to the name
And the voice.
and a voice.
Yes. This is perfect.
Let me just apologize right now for all the subscribers you just lost. So, sorry.
It's okay. We're going to ask you to help us make it back.
That's right.
I got you.
We are not afraid. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Phil. Today we're talking about Thanksgiving.
We are.
How you feeling about Thanksgiving, Trixie?
I love Thanksgiving. Even though millennials are hating on Thanksgiving hard, nope, I'm going straight up turkey.
With all the gravy and all the fixings.
Yes.
All right. For me, obviously, being a football fan, I'm always excited to see the Detroit Lions lose on Thanksgiving. However, I will say they're probably going to win this year. They're a damn good team. The Detroit Lions are good this year. I know as a Bears fan, you're not used to hearing that.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Do people get excited about the Lions every Thanksgiving because it's a tradition and it's part of the tradition? Or do people, are they more, like football fans, are they more of the mindset that we want to see somebody different on Thanksgiving? What is it?
Well, funny you should ask, because over the years, people did get tired of seeing the Detroit Lions all by themselves playing one other team. Normally it's like Green Bay or Dallas or somebody, but there are two games now on Thanksgiving. And this year there's actually going to be a Black Friday game.
Oh,
Promises
wow.
to be a good one. Maybe. I don't know. I guess not. It's Miami versus the Jets. And I don't want to get too far into sports in this episode.
Okay.
I was going somewhere and then we got off on this
All
detour
right.
talking. I could talk sports all day,
Yeah.
but what about you?
Oh, Thanksgiving isn't like a big TV time. I mean, usually the girls want to do Black Friday shopping. So that's what we have historically done. It started when they were young. I mean,
Yeah.
they saw it on the news one time, and then someone went like mad in the house, running all over saying there's a thing called Black Friday shopping. The next thing I know, I'm taking them to a mall in Lake Havasu.
I know. I was going to say we went to Lake Havasu every single year, population 12.
There's like
at that
nothing.
time of year.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
I think we did Black Friday shopping at JCPenney.
Dillard's.
Your favorite store?
I know. We went to my favorite store.
JCPenney, not Dillard's.
I know.
And then I think we even took them to I don't even know. Was it, I think Tuesday morning? They have such limited stores. So then one year I promised them that we would drive to Las Vegas and do Black Friday shopping there. And they were so excited. We got up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Drove 2 hours, hit the outlets in Vegas. And do you remember what happened?
I don't. Oh, yeah. One of our daughters had left a bag behind or had one stolen or something.
Yeah, she was fooling around. She had all of her.
Oh, it was Ellie.
Exactly.
Naturally.
Yeah, she was fooling around.
Yeah.
And she set her bag down and turned and started like doing something stupid with her sisters and walked away.
Yeah.
And then the bag was gone. All of her Christmas gifts were in that bag.
They were.
Yeah, she cried 2 hours all the way home.
She did.
Yeah.
She cried all the way back to Lake Havasu. I remember that. She's
And you know whose gifts got stolen, don't you?
Ours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get anything that year
No,
from
I
Ellie.
didn't either. Yeah.
But let's talk real quick about the first Thanksgiving, which was in 1621, because the Pilgrims landed in 1620, as you know, at Plymouth Rock.
Okay.
I already told you that most of them were dead.
By 1622.
Most of the Pilgrims were dead by 1621. 90 Native Americans came, 22 Pilgrim men, 4 women, and the rest were, over 25 children and teenagers. The food may have been turkey, but probably was not.
I actually know that as well.
I know. I think a lot of Americans do at this
it's
point.
probably fish, right? I mean, they're right by the water.
There was a lot of cod and bass, mostly those types of fish.
Yeah.
But there was also it's believed there was also a significant presence of eel.
Nobody ever talks about a Thanksgiving eel.
Nobody talks about Thanksgiving eel because nobody talks about eel as, generally, unless you're going out for sushi. That's it. Like, that's the only time anybody ever consumes eel.
So gross.
So
I don't
anyway,
like eel. I know it's people love it, but I'm not an eel fan.
they spawn in salt water, but they actually live their lives in fresh water.
They go through the land to get back to the
They do
fresh
not
water.
No, honey, they do not climb over the land.
Okay, how do they get
The
from the salt water?
The water empties out into the salt water, like the Mississippi River empties out into the
okay.
Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, there we go.
They
there
do
we
not.
Go.
Oh my Lord!
I
Think
thought-
they just had legs, or they slid
No,
like snakes?
Slid. I thought they slid like snakes.
They do not.
Because alligators do that. You know that. Alligators will do that. Like alligators will find their way into salt water and then get back into fresh water.
Okay, but alligators have legs to walk on the land.
Okay, but an eel, like a snake, you never
This
know.
goes back to your science department in your high school.
You never
Just
know.
not being
It
very
could be a
good.
possibility. Okay, so
It
just
could be-
stop
They
right
just started
now.
sliding around on the ground, and they're like, "We need an ocean."
Hey, I'm not the only one who's thinking that right now. Okay, I am not the only one who's thinking that they could have gone crossing. They could have crossed the land.
Okay, first let's go to the fowl that they ate, the birds that they ate. Duck or geese, most likely. They also think maybe carrier pigeons or swans.
Oh, they were eating swans.
They were eating swans.
They were savages, really.
They really were.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're just trying to survive. They're eating eel, for crying out loud.
I know.
Going back to the stuffing.
Far cry from
it
turkey.
was probably not bread. There probably was bread at the feast, but not inside the birds, not inside the carrier pigeon, because
The carrier pigeons were pregnant.
at that time, really the only thing people used
I just had to say
were
that.
pregnant.
Yeah, they're not stuffing them because they're pregnant. Like something crazy, right?
No, it's because they didn't have breaded stuffing back then. What are you
It
on?
just came out of nowhere. Okay, go ahead.
Onions and nuts. That's what the stuffing consisted of. So 2 things that you hate.
Yeah, it is true.
So it would have been the worst Thanksgiving meal ever.
Eel?
But it was the first one. Eel and carrier pigeons stuffed with onions and nuts. Pregnant carrier pigeons.
This is terrible. This sounds terrible.
It does. It sounds like.
Not for me.
Yeah. There were pumpkins. Although pumpkin pie was not a fixture at Thanksgiving until like the 1920s or something like that, because that's when the Libby Corporation began putting it in cans, and wives could just plop it out of the can, spread it around, and bake it, I guess. Phil, do you know how pumpkin pie is made?
Black people don't eat pumpkin pie. We eat
You eat
sweet potato pie,
potato
man.
pie.
Get that mess out of here.
You don't mess around with pumpkins?
No.
All
we don't
about
mess-
the sweet potato.
All about the sweet potatoes, but it's homemade. The sweet potato pies are homemade.
Sweet potatoes, incidentally, brought to the United States from the Caribbean. Did
Yeah,
you know
they
that?
were never a staple at Thanksgiving either.
They were not, yeah.
So the only thing real about Thanksgiving dinner is the pumpkin.
That's about it.
That sounds like a really terrible Thanksgiving meal.
I know.
Why
So
are we
we have a lot to be
celebrating?
we have a lot to be thankful for. That's my point.
We really do.
We're going to have gravy. Gravy was definitely not at the first
No.
Thanksgiving.
Did you know that Plymouth, Mass has a parade that they do 2 times in the month of November? It's
Thanksgiving parade?
Yeah, it's one time, but then they replay it. So yeah, they have a Thanksgiving parade. People are all dressed up like pilgrims and soldiers, and I don't know if they have Native people dressed up as Native
Probably
Americans.
ill-advised in 2023.
Yeah, I don't think they have that, but it's on usually November 18th, and then they replay it the morning of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then they also, on the morning of Thanksgiving in Plymouth, not on the morning, but at noon, I found this. They have, it's called the National Day of Mourning, where Native Americans go out and do their own type of observance of Thanksgiving. And they have speakers and just, in remembrance of the genocide, basically, of Native Americans.
Oh, wow. That's pretty heavy.
And white people are generally not invited.
With probably good reason.
Yeah. I mean, they even say it on the website, like, you can come, but all of our speakers are Native American. So don't think you're going to get up there and say something because, there's always going to be a white hippie there who's like, I'm in solidarity with you.
Vermont's right up the street.
Right. So there's always going to be some white hippies there. They're like, I'm your people. I'm with you. And, they're just like, oh, here comes the white hippies,
I'm sure they all have dreadlocks and they're all,
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
My guess is, though, they don't want to see them.
My guess is they probably don't, especially if it's a day of mourning.
And they do it at Plymouth Rock.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
So they go right back to the site.
Yeah.
Then you get those old fuddy-duddies who are like 12th generation Mayflower descendants. And they're like, oh, why do they have to do it here? And
of course,
the Pilgrims never hurt anybody. And,
They're trying to make Thanksgiving great again?
Yeah, they're just there are people that want to make Thanksgiving great again in the Plymouth, Mass area.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah.
It's okay. Since I said it, it's okay. They won't vote you guys.
They're going to come at you now.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Plymouth, Massachusetts, population 61,000.
Oh, it's small.
Fairly small, yeah.
That's actually small.
It's actually grown 5.5% since 2020. You'll be happy to know.
Oh, because of COVID.
Because of COVID, because of the pandemic. Average commute, 33 minutes.
It's pretty short.
Seems a lot, actually.
I actually think 20 should be the number for an average commute, but 33, okay, I'll take it.
I think the general area of Plymouth, Mass is actually rather large. We're talking in terms of
miles?
Square miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty large comparatively for the 61,000 who are there. Cost of living higher by 31% than the rest of the U.S.
Why is it so expensive to live there?
I don't know because, so the median income is just under $100,000 a year, which is pretty high compared to a lot of other places.
Yeah.
Median home price is $547,000.
Oh, it's really expensive. Is this where like wealthy people live because it's by the water? We always find this wherever we go. Waterfront property is always expensive no matter what and where you are.
I'm not sure. I mean,
it's got to be
think
because of the
so.
water that's expensive.
It is in between Cape Cod and Boston. So there's probably some spill on either side that contributes. Like, I mean, let's face it, especially the Boston area is not an inexpensive place to live in the United States. So
it's got to be because it's the history, right? That's got to be the selling point, right?
Maybe like you think that, but not always. We've been to places that are drenched in history and it's not always expensive to live. So that's why I'm wondering, is it more because it's waterfront area? We can't live there. I think that's too expensive.
We cannot live.
It's not in our budget.
We cannot live in Plymouth. Crime is below the nationwide average.
Okay.
13 sort of crimes, theft, whatever, violent crime per 1,000 U.S. residents. That's pretty low. That's pretty low. Last thing is, did you know there's a nuclear power plant?
No.
In that area.
No.
Yeah. It just, there's not anymore. They decommissioned it in 2019.
And the houses were still $550,000.
Oh, yeah.
When they decommission a power plant, a nuclear power plant.
Do they really?
I know. Do they
I thought
really?
about that.
Yep.
I did think about that.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the deal on Plymouth, Mass. that I dug up. For those of you who are interested in looking at it.
But getting there is another story.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Okay. So here are some stats that I found. driving has become quite popular during Thanksgiving, because it's hard to catch a flight. I mean, flights are delayed. Did you know that 4.5 million people flew in 2022? 54 million people drove.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? 54 million people drove.
That's a lot of people.
That is. And then
That's a lot of people.
okay, do you know?
I mean, that's 1/6 of the population of the United States.
And-
Maybe 1/7.
And out of 54 million people that drove, 10,000 get a flat tire
Oh.
a year.
That sucks. I
10,000.
thought you were going to say died.
Oh God. I didn't do death rates, okay, on
Okay.
Thanksgiving. I just didn't want to
All
spoil.
right, let's stay away from that.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So how many flights do you think in 2022 were delayed? Not canceled.
A percentage or number?
Delayed. Number.
Oh,
If you had to
gosh.
guess.
I don't know, like 1,000 flights.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a lot of faith in American travel. Holy cow.
I say 40,000. No, 4,000.
He guessed it. It's 4,000.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you got it right on the money. Did you Google that?
I did not. I did not. I am sitting here
His hands are on the
pushing
board.
the buttons.
4,000 flights were delayed in 2022. Okay,
Wow.
here's one for you guys. How many were canceled? Straight up canceled.
Straight up canceled.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm going
This
back
number's
to,
going to throw you. This number's going to throw you in a good way. It's not
I'm going to
what
go
you
back to
expect.
1,000.
Phil,
1,260.
guys, only 109.
Really?
Only
Oh,
109
they wanted that
flights
money.
were
They
canceled.
wanted that Thanksgiving money.
They were a lot delayed because they can delay you to death
Yeah.
and not give you back your
Yeah,
money.
they don't care if you wake up on Thanksgiving morning sleeping on a duffel bag.
No, they don't care.
So anyway, okay, but let's get back to a topic we were touching on earlier, and that is Black Friday. I have some facts about Black Friday per U.S. News.
Okay.
More people visit Walmart on Black Friday than visit Disney World in Orlando, Florida all year.
That I did not know.
22 million versus 18.5 million.
That's a-
22 million people go to Walmart.
That's a good fact. I would never have known
Twen-
that.
I don't go to Walmart on a Wednesday, let alone on a Thanksgiving. I had no idea that
Wow.
22 million people went to a Walmart.
They must have really good sales on Black Friday. You see it on the news.
Those are the videos
I
you
know.
see all the time
People-
where
yeah.
like people are killing each other over
for
a TV
TVs.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or like
I
a
can see why now.
Tickle Me Elmo doll or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, next one. Since 2006, this goes back to the death tour.
Okay.
Since 2006, more people have died shopping on Black Friday than in shark attacks.
Like because they got in car accidents going to the mall and leaving
No.
the mall?
Getting
Because
trampled.
of shootings and fightings and maybe accidents. Something related to tracking back to Black Friday and shopping.
Oh, it's a dangerous day to go out.
It's a dangerous day to go out.
It's like New Year's Eve.
Thank God Miami is playing the Jets this coming Friday.
You are going to be out of harm's way.
I am. So
Hey,
Unfortunately,
James, why do they call it Black Friday? Do you know?
I think that was a term from people who worked in retail, knowing that there were Thanksgiving Day sales, and it was usually the kickoff to the holidays. So if you were like for a short time, was one of those guys in a referee shirt working at Foot Locker, and I can tell you Black Friday sucked. It was terrible.
So the
Everybody
retail
can-
workers coined
I
the
think
term.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes
It
sense.
certainly is not the corporations who are making billions of dollars off that day.
So they coined it. The retail workers who did not want to go out
I
on
believe
that
so.
Friday.
And if
Yeah.
anybody wants to fact check me, you know where to find me. So anyway, so that's it. So the moral of the story is come over to my place, sip a beer, watch the football game, and then join me for my annual Christmas shopping fun run on December 23rd
that is
that I do every single
every
year.
year. Every year. Like every year since the day I met you and we celebrated Christmas together, you do your shopping on the 23rd. It is insane.
Yep.
It used to be a money issue because you didn't get paid until the 22nd. It seemed like everyone
Oh, yeah.
gets that paycheck like 2 days before Christmas. So it was always a money issue.
Yeah.
What is it now? Like what legitimately is it now?
I don't know. I'm busy.
Okay. You're busy all
busy.
year up until December 23rd.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So last but not least, we're going to do a quick top 5.
Yes.
And that is going to be, I want to hear your top 5 favorite Thanksgiving foods.
Okay.
You got them?
I do.
You're prepared. All
I
right. Let's
am.
do it.
Okay. So it's going to be obviously turkey. That is, I still like turkey. I'm not doing fish, pork, or beef. I like stuffing. I like sweet potatoes. I like mashed potatoes. And I like the dinner rolls. Those are my 5 favorite. Like, just give me that plate.
I think you named like 6 or 7 things.
No. Turkey, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, rolls, and stuffing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I didn't put gravy down. I probably I could change gravy with rolls, but I'm fine if I didn't have the gravy. Although,
All right. So let me give you mine.
No,
Number 1, gravy. Number 2, turkey. Number 3, stuffing. Number 4, pumpkin pie. And number 5, I also have those little store-bought rolls filled with chemicals and preservatives.
Yeah, they're good.
So good.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite Thanksgiving foods?
You know what this one is, top of my list, green beans. I
Green
hate green
beans.
beans. I've hated them my whole life.
What about green bean casserole?
I like, when I even think of green beans, green bean casserole. I don't care what the green beans, it could be laced in gold. I hate green beans.
But one year at Lake Havasu, you guys had the green beans with like the shaved pecans
I didn't
or
eat
the
it.
shaved almonds
I didn't
or
eat
whatever. That was pretty good.
I don't eat it. I hate green beans.
I love some green beans. I'm a country boy.
This is not your list.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Then I hate canned cranberries.
Canned cranberry.
Okay, if it's on a plate, you can throw that in the trash. I will never eat canned cranberries. And then I don't bring me ham. It's not Easter.
Okay.
It's Thanksgiving. And then the other thing I really hate is any recipe that you have taken and made it your own. Like, don't add quinoa to my stuffing.
Oh.
Don't put rice in that.
Yeah. People get a little hippy dippy with the stuffing sometimes.
Don't add pecans and brown sugar and all that stuff to sweet potatoes. Like, just make it simple. I want.
They're looking at you like you wouldn't last a day at a Southern Thanksgiving.
This is blasphemy. What are you talking about?
I like
She just wants
the white girl with the sweet potatoes, which is.
her sweet potatoes served with despair.
Okay, no. I'm telling you how I like my sweet potatoes. A little cinnamon and a little brown sugar with some butter. I like them mashed, but I don't want candied pecans and all that stuff on it. So anything that you divert from the norm of the food, I will not eat.
Okay.
So there.
All right. Let me give you my list.
Okay.
Salad. Seriously, don't be keto on Thanksgiving. There's no reason to put a tossed green salad on the table.
Agreed.
That's ridiculous. Like, seriously, what are we doing here?
I know. It's
that's
stupid.
That's what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of Thanksgiving week is for. You're getting in training so that when you are on Thanksgiving, when you're at the table on Thanksgiving, you're ravenous and you just smash your head like a bear getting a fish out of the river into a plate of gravy. Okay?
Is that what you do?
That's what I do.
Okay.
You've seen it.
I have.
Broccoli casserole or anything like it, don't bother. Don't bother. Don't bring your fancy like summer casserole. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't look right on the table with everything else. Jell-O. Anything with Jell-O. I've been to places
I
where
love Jell-O.
like, on Thanksgiving, come on.
With bananas.
That's disgusting. Moving on. In that same spirit, anything with marshmallows in it. Sweet potatoes, ambrosia, black.
ambrosia.
There's
Go
no point in putting marshmallows or for s'mores, and that is it.
Okay.
Anyway, and last but not least, I agree with you. Do not bring a ham to Thanksgiving dinner. That's just silly. That's what Christmas is for.
I say Easter.
Yeah, Easter. So anyway, okay. So that's your list. That's my list.
Yeah.
We good on Thanksgiving, Plymouth,
good.
Mass.
Yep.
Thank you for hanging with us for the holidays. We really appreciate you guys, and we're gonna take them out.
Empty nest, full tank.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.